Hello horror movie lovers, I'm Trenton and I love movies just like you, obviously. So I just watched Run Rabbit Run because I was at the Bunnyman's house last night and he was like, and I was like, wait, really? How can you say you don't like the movie if you haven't seen it? And he was like, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I'll watch it so you don't have to. My expectations were low. I knew little to nothing about this movie other than the fact that some people are calling it a knockoff A24 movie, which is kind of an ignorant statement, but also kind of funny after watching the movie. But did the movie meet my expectations? Yeah, it exceeded them, not by much, but it was fine. Nothing necessarily special.
So everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Sarah, a fertility doctor with a firm understanding of the cycle of life, is forced to make sense of the increasingly strange behavior of her young daughter Mia. She must challenge her own beliefs and confront a ghost from her past. The first 3/4 of this video will be spoiler free, then the last fourth will contain spoilers. Don't worry, I will give you a warning before we enter spoiler territory. The characters were okay. There's really only two, so there's that. Sarah, the mom, was definitely a flawed character, but as a whole, I'd say I liked her character and was feeling for her throughout the movie. Mia, her daughter, was annoying, but I'm pretty sure that's the entire point of her character, because if she wasn't annoying and stressing her mom out throughout the movie, literally none of the events would have happened. This is definitely a don't have children PSA. When it comes to their performances, they were actually really good. Very realistic for the most part, and their dynamics with one another were very convincing as well. If the acting wasn't as good as it was, I probably wouldn't have been able to sit through the entire movie. The story was meh. I didn't love it nor hate it. It just really didn't feel like anything different or anything that hasn't already been done before. It's a story about grief, motherhood, and mental health. I'm pretty sure you could already think of a couple different movies that have dealt with that same subject matter. The writing was also meh. Very cliche. Creepy child, check. Creepy child drawings, check. Creepy child wearing a creepy mask, check. Blatantly obvious jump scare setups, check, and more. There were a lot of predictable moments and lines throughout the movie.
Can people come back?
Come back from where?
From where they go when they die.
Shut the fuck up!
There were a couple surprises that were nice to see, but as a whole, I'd say, again, it wasn't anything special. The cinematography was the biggest highlight of the movie for the most part. This movie is very visually pleasing to look at, and I was really taken aback by how good the movie looked visually, but there's also some flaws I have with it. It is way too dark during the nighttime scenes, like to the point where if you were to watch this movie in a setting that isn't a pitch black dark room, you would literally barely be able to make out a single thing on the screen. I watched the movie in a dark room and was still barely able to see anything, so that was pretty distracting. Now, when it comes to the editing of this movie, it was good for the most part, besides the fact that there is way too many cuts of blacks and fade-ins, to the point where it's actually noticeable, and that is definitely not a good thing. The effects were good. On first watch, I didn't notice any VFX in the movie, which is a good thing, and the SFX in the movie were also good, very far and few in between, but what is shown looks good and realistic. The tone is weird. There were a lot of parts in the movie where I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be a serious moment, a comedic moment, or a darkly comedic moment. I literally laughed out loud multiple times in the movie, and I feel like that was not the intention. Other than those moments, the movie is depressing, as you probably could expect. The pacing is bad. This is the definition of a slow burn, and not in a good way. The movie is only around an hour 40 minutes, but felt like 2 hours and 30 minutes. It was kind of a whole lot of nothing going on. It takes so long for the story to unfold and reach a conclusion, but I will say that the last 15 to 20 minutes, when we kind of figure out what's going on, were decent, and I did kind of like certain aspects of the ending, but the payoff just wasn't really worth it in my opinion. I just kind of wish that I watched something else. The life lesson that I learned after watching Run Rabbit Run was that you shouldn't have kids, and if you do, make sure you have a harness with a tracking chip, leash, and a human-sized cage at your disposal. Overall, I wouldn't say that I hated the movie. There were a couple things that I liked, but I feel like the negatives I have with the movie outweigh the positive things. I'm gonna give Run Rabbit Run a 5 out of 10. We are now entering spoiler territory. If you haven't seen Run Rabbit Run, watch it, then come back to the video, or if you simply don't care about spoilers, keep on watching. In this portion of the video, I'm going to go more in depth with my likes and dislikes about the movie, as well as my favorite scene, least favorite scene, favorite kill, and least favorite kill. Again, we are now entering spoiler territory. My favorite scene would have to be what really happened to Alice. In the back of my mind, I was thinking that Sarah was involved with Alice's disappearance, but the scene still shocked me. At first, I didn't know what the hell was happening, but like a minute after that scene ended, I realized and was like, oh, that's what happened. Wow. My least favorite scene would definitely have to be towards the very end when Sarah is looking through the window, watching Alice take Mia to the edge of the cliff and not doing anything but screaming out of the window. Like, why are you not going out the front door to help your daughter like you did earlier? It just felt like they didn't know how to properly end the movie, so they just made her make the stupidest decision imaginable. I didn't like that. I liked that it was implied that Mia died by falling off the cliff like Alice, but I wanted to at least see Sarah try to get to her and fail to do so. That would have been way more effective in my opinion. There isn't really a lot of kills in the movie. There's only like 2, but I'd say my favorite kill would have to be Alice's death, because at least we see her fall off the cliff, and I just like the twist as a whole. My least favorite kill would have to be Mia's death, mainly because we don't see her fall off the cliff, just her walking towards the edge. I wanted to see her fall. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos from me, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. All right, horror movie lovers, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.